I think we're live.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Hey, Internet friends, Magic Brad here, and here at the Magic Lounge, and we're here with magicians. And we've got, to my left, Brian Richards. Say hi, wave.
Hello.
And Tom Olenek. And Craig, what was your last name?
Carlson.
Kurt. No, Carl.
Yeah, right. That's my brother.
So we're just going to talk about, Brian had this wonderful idea of talking about event disasters. So if there's any event planners out there, and you want to join us and talk about some things that went wrong, you can wear a mask or something so you don't have to show your face.
Yeah, right.
the unknown event planner. Wasn't me. So does anybody have any, I'll tell one quick one. I did a show for, the company will remain nameless, but a guy died in the show, during the show. And I didn't know it because he was laughing like this and stuff, and all of a sudden he didn't get back up, and I thought he was just laughing. I was packing my stuff up, and all of a sudden he falls over.
Well, I've died many times in my shows, but
Not
it's
quite
a
that literally.
This was a spectator.
Yeah.
I didn't have someone die. I was doing a senior home, and the guy fell asleep during my show, and his teeth popped out. That was
Oh, that's
Thank goodness his nurse was close by, and she picked him up.
So Tom, you were with Tom has it from a different point of view because he actually worked for a company that did the events.
well,
So you mentioned the company.
I have to say, in 35 years at a large company in the cities, I've never had an event really go down as a disaster. We've come close on many occasions, and I suspect pretty much every event planner out there will say that they were close, but they never really lost it. If they had a major disaster, particularly in today's day and age, it's probably your last job. You're only as good as your last event.
Oh, yeah.
So
That'll never happen again.
yeah.
You're right.
So, at least not with you, know, or whatever. But I can remember I had some dear friends, the original Snot and Puke locally, and we were doing a Renaissance sales meeting. And we had hired a guy to come in, and he came in as a patent, the Army general. And we had winches everywhere, and you know, all these Renaissance, and the keynote was Patton, and he didn't understand clean comedy.
Uh-oh.
And
That's not good.
it was one of those things where I could just see the faces on people, and I was watching carefully the president of the company and the CEO, and with every bad word, their faces got more and more tense. And, you know, it's like I literally had to give the guy the hook to get him off stage. And thankfully, Snot and Puke were with me, so they had big swords. So
Get off the stage.
It's just, and literally that's what we did. They came out and
Kind of kills the illusion when Patton gets chased by
yeah.
a guy with a sword.
right.
But it was one of those things where, you know, they turned it into comedy as they normally do, and we got him off stage. But the biggest disaster that I ever had was the blue language. Even though you try to prevent it, and you tell them, you know, keep it clean. You know, when they get on stage, it's like we're going to do this the way we're going to do it, and you know, it was ugly. It really
I
was
have a
tough.
general rule that I don't use any blue stuff at the corporate events. The comedy club's a different
too
story.
risky.
They're
It's
used
too
to
risky.
it. And some people say I'll do whatever they allow me to do, but I choose not to. There's some stuff that can be subtle, like last week you had mentioned a thing that he was not off color, but the audience mind was. So sometimes you can run into that kind of stuff. That wasn't your fault. That was the dirty minds of the audience. So sometimes it's you guys.
And sometimes it's not blue. It's political leanings. Like my brother, he's in charge of events for his company. And I won't name the celebrity, but the celebrity was there, and he had a political bent. And some of his comments towards certain racial and ethnic minorities was starting to get people upset because the majority of the people that work for him were that minority. So it's like it's just scary sometimes when you take on that role.
So I want to throw some out to any event planners that might be seeing this. Again, I wanted to do a plug for us that if anybody's interested, we're all performing, still performing. Anybody semi-retired? Now, we'll do a gig, you got the money.
What is that?
So we can do it via the Magic Lounge, that's this thing here. Slide out of there, they can see the sign, the Magic Lounge. That could be a traveling show, come to you, or individually, we're all available for that kind of thing. So should we give out website things?
Well, I would like to offer up a checklist to event planners out there. If you want a checklist, you can get in touch with me at magic4 ACE productions.com. So 4ACE Productions. I'd be happy to send you a checklist of things to ask vendors just to kind of help you out to avoid disasters.
Okay.
And I know each of these guys have questions that are good about that too.
So this is a list of frequently asked questions or questions you should ask.
You should ask them.
Yeah, like, do you have
Like it.
experience?
Right, experience, right. Exactly.
And I'd like to point out that we would like this to become an ongoing thing, not just to promote what we have to offer, but also to help people learn, especially young event planners, but even event planners who've been in the business for 30 years can learn from the stories that we have to tell as ways to avoid potential mistakes. It's a treat to have Tom here because, like us, we've been in the business for years, decades, and the stories pile up. We have lots of stories, and we would like to bring Tom in. We would like to bring, as you said, event planners
Sure.
in to, like, quote-unquote, guest appearance to tell some of these stories to help other people learn.
You know, another thing that I think is desirable, all industries turn over, and there's a lot of young event planners that are coming into the industry who haven't had a major disaster. You know, they're young enough and naive enough that they run into it expecting everything's going to work fine. And the experienced people can share a lot of knowledge to the young event planners to help them avoid some of those things. That's what MPI, Meeting Planners International, is valuable for, is to seek out a mentor and to work with somebody to help you grow in your own skill sets.
Well said, that's true. All the stuff that you might have learned in the books and all that, it changes when you get into real life.
A good example, I spoke last week about an event that I did, and I won't name the caterer because there's still a very big caterer in town, and it
Yep, you
was
just named it.
one mistake, and they don't deserve to not have business just because they had this one event. But we were doing a Western-themed event out at a horse farm in Egan, and they underestimated how much food they were going to need. And there were 300 people at this event, and what the event planner and the caterer did not figure in was the fact that these people had been in meetings since 8 a.m. It was now 8 in the evening. Dinner didn't happen until 8 in the evening. That's a long day, and they were hungry. And about halfway through the line, the buffet line, the chicken was gone.
Uh-oh.
And you go about another 24 people down the line, and all the sweet corn was gone. The last 30, 40 people in line, all they got were baked beans for dinner.
That's
Which caused a whole nother show.
Exactly. There you go.
So I'm going to close this one up, and we can do some more of these things later on. But if anybody is interested in getting involved with what we're doing here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, and St. Paul, and also have trips, will travel. So this is Magic Brad signing off. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Craig. And thanks for our guests. There is somebody on there. We'll see what they commented on, and we'll catch up with you. Click.